fake alafu mnarekodi sauti yake bila ruhusa. Nikipata sauti yangu ina trend huko nje na kuna pesa napata, mtajua mimi mlu yako na roya na sina roya binadamu. Usinirecord.
Ili kupata skiza tini hii, usinirecord. Bonyeza *811*396#.
Good afternoon. Thank you for creating time for us. It is the World Earth Day. How are you commemorating this day? How are you appreciating the environment? Let's interact on all our social media platforms. KBC Channel 1. Besides that, we have lots lined up for you. My name is Irene Muchuma Odim. On sign language interpretation is Lucy Mwaura. Our top focus this afternoon, a section legislators from Mount Kenya has vowed to revive the push for a fair distribution of resources. They insist that resource distribution must be based on the population and not landmass, as has been the case.
Speaking during the issuance of bursary checks to parents and teachers, Gatondo South Member of Parliament Gigi Kagombe lamented Mount Kenya region was not getting its fair share of the national revenue.
Hii mambo ya basari ni lazima tutaleta mswada bunge, na hata kama itamaanisha kukuja hapa kuongea na wananchi kwa kitu inaitwa hii referendum, tutafanya hivyo, kwa sababu lazima turudishe one man, one shilling, one vote. Ama namna gani? Kwa sababu na muangalia namna hii, ati hapa Kiambu shule za upili ambazo zinafundisha watoto wametoka county zingine, sitaki kutaja majina, wanatoka huko wanakuja kusomea hapa kwa sababu kuna quota system.
These sentiments were echoed by Kiambu County Woman Representative Brother and Manyata MP Getonga Mukonji.
Kaunti zingine tumekuwa tukiumia kwa sababu juzi mliona watu wakipigana mpaka wakakufa kwa sababu ya basari pale Ruiru. Yet sisi tunapewa 4,000, 5,000 na 1,000 ikiwa mingi inafika 6,000. Lakini kuna counties zingine wanapewa pesa, wanasomesha watoto wao mpaka ngambo, to a tune of even 100 and 150,000 per child. Yet kazi ile mingi ni sisi tunafanya, na kodi kigawa sisi ndio tunagawiwa kidogo. Kwa hivyo pale katika bunge mtatu mvurutano wa one man, one shilling, one vote.
Nilisoma kwa gazeti juzi, constituency inaitwa Rabai, o sijikumbuki jina Rabai. Mbunge amepeana 100,000 per student waende ngambo wakasome, na hiyo ni basari. Mimi hata kufikisha 10,000 siwezi. And I'm saying this without fear of contradiction, that if there's anything the 13th Parliament must have is fairness in distribution of government resources.
The leaders said the current formula of allocating constituencies the same amount is discriminative to areas with high population. Under the current revenue formula, the population covers 45%, basic share 25%, poverty levels 20%, area 8%, and fiscal responsibility 2%. Political leadership from Mount Kenya region insists the formula denies heavily populated counties adequate resources for development. Yishoki Washira, Lunchtime News.
All right, away from politics, more than 100 herders living in Gitukoma area, located 20 kilometers from Lokichogio, are calling on the government to provide them with national identity. They say constant migration in search of pasture has made it difficult to apply for IDs. The lack of identification cards has, to that effect, prevented many residents from accessing government and financial services.
Pata kofi ya kitambulisho na sisi hatupati kitambulisho.
Hao wananchi ambao unaona wote bila ID cards, na tunawauliza wale ambao kazi yao ni hiyo, kwa sababu hiyo si kazi ya county government, waone kama wanaweza kusaidia issuance of IDs kwa watu wetu.
We are asking the members of parliament to the National Registration Bureau department to come issue identity cards to our people in Turkana County.
Man in Litien town, Kericho County has police officers from Litien Police Station of Laxity in dealing with the proprietor of Red Sea Petrol Station claims his business premises has been targeted by burglars for the past 3 years, and police are yet to arrest the culprits. Abdul Kadir, he says the latest incident happened on Friday, where robbers made away with more than 300,000 shillings.
Wanaingia petrol station kwa kila ikichao, usiku wala mchana. Tukienda kupeleka ulalamishi kwa police station, kuna usaidizi wote ambayo tunapata. Kwa vile sasa hivi mimi naongea, niko na OB zaidi ya 30.
Wanaweza kuwa wameshika mhalifu lakini wanaachilia pale pale, wanachukulia hata kama ni 1,000 2,000, na wewe hauna haki.
Kuna magari ya private robox ambayo wanatumia kwa mambo zingine ya shughuli yao ya private. Wanakuja wanajazia hapa mafuta kiwa ile ambayo inachukuliwa watu yote.
The county police command to appoint independent person to investigate into that allegation. So, and the file has been completed. It has been forwarded to the police commander with the recommendations. He will even write even to IPOA so that these cases can be investigated.
Residents of Kakamega County have been urged to come out in large numbers for screening and early detection of cancer. During the launch of the cancer screening campaign at Matungu Hospital, Janet Baraza, the spouse of Kakamega County Governor Fernandez Baraza, called on residents to take cancer awareness campaigns seriously. Janet, who was accompanied by spouses of Lake Region Economic Bloc governors, also urged parents, the clergy and school administrators to take the lead in advocating for uptake of the HPV vaccine.
Tusidanganyane ama usidanganye mwenzako kwamba wewe umepata kansa umerogwa. Kama kuna mwenzako amepata ugonjwa wa kansa, mwambie aende apate matibabu. Here as first spouses from the Lake Region Economic Bloc to support the cause of Stop Cancer by 2030. Muko na wake zenu, wacha mtoto wa shule asome. Iwezi kuwa ya kwamba Lake Region ndio sisi tunaongoza kwa ile vitu mbaya peke yake.
Congratulations to the government, to your governor for lead by example. Tukirudi huko makwetu, tutaenda huko tuambie wetu pia waende wafanye hivyo in public.
Let us all run and go for screening and vaccination.
And agreement has finally been reached on the modalities of subdivision of a group ranch to members of Loitoktok sub-county of Kajiado County. Members of Group Ranch agreed to form an inclusive task force to oversee the subdivision process of the 283,000 acres of land to the 6,000 members. The peace accord brokered by the area member of parliament, Samuel Parashina, has ended prolonged wrangles spanning over 20 years.
Tutahakikisha ya kwamba kama task force ama jopo kazi tutafanya hiyo kazi kwa haki. Wananchi kwa kila mara tutahakikisha ya kwamba sisi kama kamati resources zile ziko huku group ranch, both kuku A na kuku B. Niomba tu kusema ya kwamba Kuna watu ambaye wanaendelea wakitembea mabroka, wakiomba watu wause mashamba. Akiona mtu hajasoma, akiona mtu hana nguvu, akiona mtu ni maskini, anaenda kutumia hiyo, anatake hiyo advantage, anaenda kumshawishi ili anunue shamba kwa $2.5. Hiyo pia tunasema hatukubaliani naye.
Kama una malalamishi yoyote, peleka kwa task force, viongozi wa grupu la Joko hapo wajibu maswali, lakini hatuhitaji mikutano ya kufanya kwa maboma za watu.
Na hawa ambao wanakaa hapa kutusikiliza wana DC.
Rural private hospitals are accusing the hospital fund and other privately owned insurance funds of illegally withholding the claims. The hospitals say they are owed to a tune of 4 billion shillings in unsettled claims dating back 6 months. Through their association, they have threatened to turn away parents by May 1st unless they pay for health services.
Are not remitting money to your service providers. Therefore, because all our attempts to solve this matter in an amicable manner have failed, we are getting clause 2.13 of our contract with the NHIF, which talks about top-up payment. It says that for any uncovered medical claim, on consent, hospital request the beneficiary to payment. Cabinet Secretary for Health, tafadhali ingilia kati dia ili bima ya NHIF isi collapse, na hii scheme ya polisi ambayo ilienda kwa private consortium, tafadhali isiwachwe hivyo. Polisi ni muhimu sana na hatutaki wadhulumike.
Empty trucks that had been diverted to exit to neighboring Uganda through Luhwaka town in Bungoma County will in the next few weeks be able to do so through Malaba town. The Malaba route had been forbidden by the Uganda Revenue Authority Minister for East and Community Affairs, and the first Deputy Prime Minister of Uganda, Rebecca Kadaga, says the new directives have been to ease movement at the Malaba border. She noted COVID-19 prevention protocols had negatively impacted the Malaba business community.
So I've directed them to return the trucks to come back here for 2 months. We evaluate and see the way forward for the future. Because those trucks are a source of income. There has been a big problem of accessibility, and I've directed the URA people to enlarge what they call the small gate. But I also direct them to open 2 other gates which have been closed and which are hindrance to the free movement of people.
Let's take a look at the environmental concerns. Stakeholders in the sector are calling for concerted efforts in reforestation and afforestation initiatives to achieve the nation's target of 30% tree cover by 2032. A tree planting event in Tharaka Nithi County. The stakeholders also underscored the need for formulation of a law to regulate charcoal burning. Private landowners were also urged to plant more trees as the government focuses on greening public lands as a way of mitigating the effects of climate change and ending drought emergencies.
Some of the key actions which would be implementing would be, especially through NDMA, is to facilitate the local communities to access climate information which they can use to build resilience and adaptation.
As we are restoring the rainlands, we are also not forgetting the community and also building the livelihoods so that we show them how, by protecting their ecosystem, then they can also benefit from the ecosystem services that are there.
And on that bit, we are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
time I encountered rape, I was 6 years towards 7 years through my father.
And he stabbed you?
Yeah, he stabbed me on my knee, extended that knife all the way up here. And he told me, what I've done, I will do it on your neck. Wakamulikiana, wakavaa. Then of course kuna mwingine alikuwa na panga akaiguzisha kwa ukuta, then akakuja akaifanyia mic testing kwa shingo yangu. So they literally descended on me one after another.
Do you have a new story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Welcome back. You are watching the Lunchtime News. Across the borders, the government continues to urge all Kenyans in Sudan to urgently contact the Kenyan embassy in Khartoum or reach out through SMS and WhatsApp. On Friday, street battles were being fought by Sudan's rival forces in the capital Khartoum in an escalation of violence despite calls for a ceasefire to mark the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Fitr. The paramilitary rapid support forces said they had agreed to a 3-day truce, and several hours later the army did the same. At least 400 people have been killed in a week of fighting. Kenyans in need of evacuation should text or WhatsApp their names, passport numbers and location to the numbers +24 99 00194854 or +254 114757 002. The streets of Mombasa have remained deserted, with a majority of businesses remaining closed during the day, a state of affairs attributed to the Islamic nature of the coastal town. However, as the day gives way tonight, just after the breaking of the fast, a sleeping city awakens to booming business, with traders reporting of profits. Our reporter, Janae Karisa, paints a clear picture of the Ramadan culture in Mombasa as Muslims across the world conclude their 30 days of fast and usher in the Eid al-Fitr festival.
What comes to mind when the word Ramadan is uttered? Prayer, fasting, giving, but most importantly, food. As Muslims worldwide observe their religious duties, traders as well as the county administration in Mombasa have taken advantage of the day's desired need and turned it into a money-minting booming business. Of course, the business has to take place when the light gives way to darkness, thus rebirthing the night culture of Ramadan in Mombasa County. The white and blue city, as presently known today, has prehistorically been referred to an Islamic city owing to its founding rich heritage despite hosting diverse religious communities. Today marks the final day of the holy month, hence business transactions have multiplied, particularly for the past 10 days. It's 5:30 in the evening along the streets of Kibokoni Old Town Ward, a business hub, coastal town. The mood is helter-skelter as locals rush against time to prepare iftar for their families. Meet Hadija Balo, a street food vendor along the Makadara Road, who is renowned for her snacks such as bajia, kaimati, viazi karai, katlesi, amongst many others. Unlike last year, 2023 fasting season has seen her inflate her prices.
Watu wanakula sana, wanapenda hizi vitu vya barabarani, kila mmoja huwa yutamani kitu tofauti.
Just like Hadija, many traders have taken advantage of the season to maximize on sales.
Upande huu wote wa Kibokoni, alhamdulillah tuko busy kwa kazi, tuwapata faida, tumshukuru Allah.
Several minutes into 6 o'clock adhan, the call to prayer is heard, and it's go time to break the day's fast, a moment that is shared with those around. Slowly, the day gives way to night. Gradually, the deserted streets saturate with street vendors as locals and tourists flock to devour what is displayed on the carefully decorated stands as security remains tight. As the night climaxes, a melodious tune catches our ears. 27 years old Rajab Muhammad leads a band of 7 peers in Kaswida and Nasheed Islamic praise songs, a service that they do without charge fee but depends on the goodwill of their fans for various tokens of appreciation.
Kutangaza dini tayari ni kitu kikubwa mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Kwa hivyo nadhani hiyo inatosha.
Since their teenage years, the boys have been reciting the tunes while in madrasa. For the past 10 years, the lot have made it a culture to recite praise songs during Ramadan and Maulid seasons across the coastal streets. Drums are their main instruments of their work. However, a complete set of drums costs them a whooping 18,000 to 20,000 shillings.
Hii inaitwa twari. Unajua kama twari. Lakini kuna watu wanaita matari, twari, yote ni moja, yanajulikana. Kwa bei yake hii moja inatoka shilingi 4,000. Na ukiwa ushanunua hilo 4,000 moja, bado kuna kama hii kamba yake ambayo ndio inafanya ilie. Kwa hivyo hiyo pia inauzwa kando. Unapata. Kwa hivyo na kukamilika kwa bando, lazima tukuwe na matari 4 na kigoma kimoja.
As the season comes to an end, the fraternity's essential hope is that their prayers have been received and answered. From the KBC fraternity to all Muslims across the world, Eid Mubarak. From the old town in Mombasa County, I'm Juni Karisa Mbele.
Welcome to Channel 1 Sports. Premier League leaders Arsenal scored 2 late goals as they fought back to a draw of 3-3 at home to struggling Southampton. In France, Kylian Mbappe scored twice as Paris Saint-Germain beat bottom side Angers 2-1 to move to a step closer to a record 11th League One title.
Dropped points yet again after coming from behind to register a 3-3 draw with Southampton. Carlos Alcaraz capitalized on an Aaron Ramsdale error to score after the Saints led for just 28 seconds before Gabriel Martinelli pulled one back for the league leaders.